Hi, everyone. I'm your host, Patty G. Russo, and this is Let's Talk Pets on Society Bites Radio. Today, we welcome back to the show Marilyn Litt, and she's going to join us today. She's from Lost Dogs of Texas, and she's going to join us today to talk about how Facebook has become such a valuable tool for animal rescue. But also, as valuable as it is, there are some issues that we want to talk about, so we can figure out a little way to maybe let you all know how you can help us overcome these issues. So welcome to the show, Marilyn.
Thank you. It's great to be here again.
Yeah, so we both know, because we work on these Facebook pages day in and day out, 365, it feels like 565 days a year, that it is wonderful to help us reunite pets and for other animal rescue situations. But we do have issues with it. So why don't you start letting us know more about this?
Well, if you think back about a decade ago and earlier, we were using Pet Finder. And by we, I mean rescues would post animals to be adopted there. And it was just amazing, a great use of the internet to get pictures in front of people. And I'm sure that it's helped with just the explosion of adoptions that we've seen and more rescues. But eventually, Facebook became a platform that people migrated to, and rescues saw that they had to adapt. So now we see not only rescues posting animals to be adopted, but there are these like Friends of the Shelter sites where they will post photos of dogs. And of course, we're all familiar with the urgent dogs, where people will send around a picture and say this dog has a limited number of days left at the shelter. And I just see tremendous things that Facebook has done, but with that comes a dependency.
So what, Marilyn? I couldn't get that last word you said.
I'm sorry. With that comes a dependency. We're very dependent. Yeah. I see sometimes people getting frustrated in rescue and saying, well, we need our own platform, or we're going to leave Facebook. And I just think, you can't leave Facebook. We're now bound to Facebook for the immediate future. Mm-hmm. And we just have to work around the problems. Have you encountered problems with Facebook yourself?
Well, we do, and I think, versus the adoption side of things, with the lost pet side of things, one of the issues that we have, I guess, is the hardest obstacle to overcome would be the fact that there are too many lost pet groups. So people start posting here, there, and everywhere, not knowing which one would be the best one to use, I guess. We only do 2 counties here where I am in my organization, but we are a nonprofit organization, and we're very big for the 2 counties. So, we get a lot of requests because, our name is sort of generic, just Lost Pet Services, that people come to our group thinking that we're, maybe nationwide. And so, I immediately offer them either Helping Lost Pets or Pet FBI, so that it trickles down to the Lost Dogs of America groups, And we also tell them to post with the largest group and most active in their county, because I feel that having too many can cause pets to fall between the cracks. And that's one of the things that has been an issue with me right from the start, is that, if your dog is lost and you're just posting on a group that has 200 people, and then it's found, or vice versa would be a better example, it's found on the group that's got 200 people and that group isn't that active, how are you going to make that connection? So it's really important to understand, why there's so many groups that aren't always the best thing to post on or share to, I don't know how to explain it any better than that, I guess.
Well, I think that is one of the great things about Facebook is that anybody can make a page, and one of the terrible things about Facebook is anybody can make a page.
Yeah.
So I know that there are pages out there that use Lost Dogs of Texas as the name. Now, they're not very active, but I can't do anything about it. And as long as they're not active pages, they're not really going to come up on and attract people who need to reach a certain audience. You know, if you've lost your dog, like you say, you don't want to be on a page that has 200 people when there's really a page with 2,000 people for your same county. Mm-hmm. So it is sort of difficult in that Facebook doesn't. They do well. Actually, I think they do a pretty good job of showing the more popular pages, but it's still there's too much served to people, so they have to find out on their own really where is the best place. And I think your advice, of course, Pet FBI and Helping Lost Pets, they're the nationwide database. That's why all our lost dog pages that are using those tools are helping bring some order to this. But your advice to people to get to the largest group in their area is really the best advice as far as cutting through all of the things you're offered and finding what's going to be most effective.
Yeah. And one of the reasons also is because, you know, what we do day in and day out, like all the lost dogs of each state pages do, is you give the information that's needed, you know, where I can look on some of the smaller pages and they're giving incorrect information, you know, and that really it makes me very nervous. It irritates me because when people are giving out information that's incorrect, that could be the difference between getting your pet back or not getting it back, you know, or how to go about scanning a pet and where to go about doing it. You know, I see incorrect information almost on a daily basis, and that is frightening for the owner of a pet and for the pet itself.
Yes, and that's one of the main problems with Facebook is there are no people that you can talk to in charge. Mm-hmm. So if you see something that's incorrect and you know it's harmful, you can right-click on it and send in a report to Facebook. There's a story in the news right now. I don't want to go into it. It's not to do with animals, but it was about a group that was reported 400 times and nothing was done. So you can only imagine that right-clicking and reporting a post because it's telling you incorrect information on finding an animal, there's not a lot of people motivated to correct that the way there might have been for this other group. So you're just, it's very hard to get attention. You cannot call Facebook. There's no phone number for them. You cannot email them. They have limited their email addresses now. There's just a couple of them, I think the PR department and the legal department, but you'll never get a response emailing those addresses. They have a templated report system that I don't think is ever seen by a human being. So it's kind of like, and I see the problem as sort of like the problem, well, it's kind of like the problem if you live in a town where they don't pave the streets accurately for about 30 years. Then when they want to come and fix it, the problem is too big. Facebook has never, ever had people in customer service. How would they fix this problem now? It would be hard for them to even see where to start. They would have to hire an army because they have always, from day one, gone with, we're going to automate this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is frustrating. It's very frustrating.
There's been so many times I just wished I could just say to a person who might look at it, or maybe they'll set me straight. But you just like to have that give and take where you know that you're able to express your concerns because you and I are putting so much time into it. As you said, 365 days a year, and yet we're just completely at a dead end.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Sorry, I was just going to say sometimes I've literally been at a dead end. One of the problems with Facebook is they do use logarithms to see what kind of posts you're making, and if they're unhappy with them, or if they're just, if the logarithm is unhappy with what you're posting, you can be barred from posting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I know we had a really important post that had, oh my gosh, hundreds of comments on about this one dog. And I don't know, I think I went to update something or edit it. And when I edited it, they said it was against community standards. And I didn't do anything other than change, I don't know, I changed like the status or something very simple. I didn't even really write anything. And they said it went against community standards. So that was probably one of their glitches. However, it wiped out, the whole post was gone. I was so upset about it. Yeah. Because it said it went against community standards. Oh.
Well, from what I've seen, animal rescuers are disproportionately affected by these logarithms. I don't know why. I don't know what it is we're doing that catches the attention of the statistics, but you'll see they'll make a change, and then all of a sudden I'll have 5 or 6 people message me saying that they can't post on Facebook. And they're not doing anything different. And they're not really, and I'm not talking about people who are just continually posting things that somebody might object to. I'm talking about people who are just doing their few flyers every day, making some comments, and next thing you know, it's a problem.
Yeah, yeah. Well, one of the things we were having an issue with a while back, and thankfully it hasn't been an issue recently, and I don't know, it must have been something to do with one of their updates, but we tag a lot of people because we break down locations by zip code, and then we've got so many people signed up under each zip code that then we break it down by what we call a zone to narrow it in. So, if you're on Nextdoor, whatever, we ask them to post it there and, post it in an HOA group or whatever. So we tag these people that have volunteered to be tagged. And some of the lists are pretty long. I mean, maybe not any more than 20 people, but we were getting like in Facebook jail for tagging too many people, to try to help reunite the pets. And it was just, things like that to me are just kind of crazy because as you said at the beginning of this, we can't do without Facebook for what we do because it is such a valuable tool. It's a very valuable tool in what we do, and it really works for us. But there's so many little things that I wish there was a customer service where you could actually say, hey, this would really help us a lot more, and they could work with us. That would be wonderful,
I know. One of the things that's a real problem for me is I work on these pages after disasters.
Uh-huh.
And if you put up a page, say there's a tornado like Joplin, we put up a page, right away you get so many people, you can get 3,000 people in a week. Now Facebook, their motto, go fast and break things, I think they should be partnering with us to see, wow, this is what happens when you're, testing the system by adding so many people at once to a brand new page. But instead, we get shut down. Most recently, we did a page for the wildfires in Oregon. Now, at the same time, we had one for California, which was an old page we were using, and another one for the Gulf hurricanes, which is an old page. And we didn't have any problems with them, but the Oregon page, every single person who was an admin was blocked from posting on that page, even new admins.
Wow.
Now, they weren't blocked from posting anywhere else. It was just on that